So basically, I was thinking, like, I had this thought that, why is Women's Day celebrated, and like, what is the need to have Women's Day? So I was like, we've been only hearing, that International Women's Day, but do we really know, like, why is the need to celebrate Women's Day? Like, why does it have to be a specific day that needs to be celebrated?
See, every day is been celebrated, like Friendship Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine Day. So this Women's International Day is also been celebrated as per UNO. What I know is just to inspire every woman in this world to stand up on her legs, be an independent woman, and be equal to a man. That's what I feel this Women's Day is celebrated.
But don't you think like the word equality is a little bit misjudged? Like what do you understand from equality? Because my definition of equality was very different earlier, and now it has changed. I don't even know anymore if equality is the right word to use or not. So I am confused there.
Why it is celebrated? Reason can be women are being treated very badly, roughly, and a different on the different perspective in the different part of world. If you see the most advanced countries in European countries, the women got the right of voting very late. But on the contrary, where we say most women were tortured around India, women were worshipped. Puja kiya. From ancient equality means what? This question itself should not arise.
Exactly.
We need to celebrate Man Day, Women Day, friends. First of all, I am not pro to this kind of days, but I don't think this should come. It should be so natural that every human being are equal for their thinking, for their living, for their upbringing, for their staying, for their wearing, for their thinking, everything. But I think when it comes for women, for so many years, because it's a male-dominant society, they have created all the laws. So there are so many years, we have suppressed women and womanhood.
Yeah, I was reading and then I found out that, like this Women's Day is celebrated because there are multiple reasons why women need to be empowered, and there are, they are celebrated on this specific day, their achievements are celebrated and all of that. And it's a great initiative, to be honest, because it's required, I feel, for sure. But then when we come to real life, like sure, we celebrate Women's Day once a year and all of that. But then when you look around actually and then you see that are we, like something as simple as, for example, there is, like you ask a woman, what do you think? Like what is your suggestion? Whatever. But how many times do you actually take those suggestions? Like, especially in like some workplaces now, although the generations are changing, thinking is changing, but I still feel like we are very, very behind.
Yeah, and so still the Women's International, that is the reason the Women's International Day has been celebrated, because whether it is in the military field where there is totally men, very few percent of there are women. So people, even there, like, they are the heroes of the country. But still a woman entry, I think it's like easily it is not accepted.
There's parity of the, even the salaries, or women CEO or women head of the department will draw lesser salary than a man. And maybe because of the physical dominance of the male. So this is one disparity which I can clearly see. There is God has created two different categories that we have to accept. So there are certain areas where women are dominated, like their thinking, their futuristic thinking, their sixth sense, their or whatever. So there are certain ways there, but physically, male, if even a dumb person, male, we can have power, physical power, more physical power. Now where women are entering into the power business or physical power business. But still, by nature or by default, the disparity created by the creator. So it has to be accepted and respected with, without giving a second thought कि लड़की है तो क्या है, इसको कम सैलरी चलता है, इनको क्या है, लड़की है तो क्या है, इनका सेंस बराबर नहीं होता, लाइक
गाड़ी चलाते
वक्त गाड़ी चलाते रास्ते का सेंस, the navigation sense is not good. That is, yes.
Saying things like that should be completely avoided. Like, you need to take a stand for these things if you hear somebody say it, is what I feel, and I don't see a lot of people doing that. Like, you tend to ignore it, right? Even if in your workplace or your school, college, whatever, like if there is some comment made about something, people generally laugh it off and nobody really takes a stand for it, which is I don't know, I mean, not nice. So yeah, so I was wondering, like have you ever been put into, like, especially you, like have you ever been put into situations where you have to remain silent even if, like, you wanted to stand up for something or say something? Like,
yeah, many places, like when it came for my, let's start with my father. So when it came for his business, so we were 3 daughters, and he was very interested that मैं उनका काम संभालूं, उनका इतना बड़ा business संभालूं. लेकिन when I started interfering into his started working, he thought it to be an interference, and he said नहीं, ये meeting में बहुत सारे gents होंगे, फिर आपका आना अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. So what would I introduce you as? So you can introduce me as your daughter or a partner of your business, So but there will be men, there will be drinking, there will be alcohol, and then there will be meeting, and it will be too late, and you will be the only woman. So slowly and gradually, he just convinced me that you look only after the, in the office. You be in the office. Don't come along with me in the meetings. Don't come into factory.
yeah, that's when I realized that having a say and actually listening makes a big difference.
Yeah, but then there was one very, I can never forget this in my life. I was a very good athlete, and I really respect that PT sir, whose name is Vashishta sir, and he made me run whenever there was a competition. There he never made me run with girls. He made me run with boys. And then I used to come first, and the whole school used to really appreciate that, कि लड़कों के साथ भागी. तभी वो feeling बहुत अच्छा लगता था कि अरे कोई तो equality में मतलब मेरे को समझ रहा है कि भाई I'm as good, as powerful as a man. Yeah. So it was very beautiful experience that I can never forget.
Like, Dad, do you think that men generally, in like workplaces or situations like these, do you think they actually listen to what a woman has to say, or do you think they just, हाँ ठीक है, position है तो बोलने के लिए बोल लेते हैं, but हम करेंगे तो वही जो हमें.
No, nowadays things have changed. So, in our office atmosphere, many women are like architects and engineers, and they have been given a very good listening and their suggestions. Even the head of the departments are like architects are many times a lady architect, head of the department. So I don't think the parity of listening and the question of listening is there much now.
But at home?
But in general, if you say
like there are so many examples in and around us also, na, where
so around, yes, in and around as a society, there are a lot of work to do.
so how do you listen to what a person has to say instead of just letting them speak, because there's a difference between the two.
सिर्फ बात
Listen
करके
is
देने में और सुनने
accepting
में
and
फर्क.
implementing the things. No, what if it is correct?
But how do you get a man to put aside his male ego and listen? Instead of, when the woman is talking, instead of just assuming that she is doing some bad and ignoring what she has to say, how do you get a person to actually listen?
That is man. Now, in that case, a man has to understand. If he is an educated and a literate person, if he is moving all around the world for his work, so he has to now understand that woman also has the same place that a man is having. ये अभी आदमियों को समझना चाहिए कि औरतों को रिस्पेक्ट देना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि वो उतना ही काम कर रही है जितना मैं कर रहा हूँ. तो वो खुद को भी समझना बहुत जरूरी है. If he keeps his male ego, one fine day he's going to fall. Because yeah, 101% I feel yes. Because now the women, if they are not listening, but women also are not quiet. They are also speaking. They want their justice. They want their actions to be, honored. Their words to be respected. So women are now talking about it.
On a lighter note, like, what do you think, like, who are some people or some women in your life who have, shaped your existence, or who you are grateful to, and how what role have women played in, like, your lives?
I don't know how to put up, but though we had so much of strength, so much of talents and all that, but a woman, only due to care, due to emotions. So I was being stopped at many places कि ये नहीं करना है, बच के रहना है, बाहर जाओगे फिर लोग क्या कहेंगे, फिर रात को लेट आएंगे तो लोग क्या कहेंगे, अगर तुम कहीं चले गए और आपका कुछ हो गया, like very clearly, like you have been raped by somebody, फिर हम मुंह क्या दिखाएंगे. In that all situations and in all that thought process, people like me was kept in a very safer place. But yeah, if you're asking, I started developing myself when it's because of you, I can say. As a daughter, when you try to make me teach so many things. Ki emotionally you have to come out of things. There's nothing to be scared of. The world is very big, or every woman is not raped. That you made it very clear. And very moral support was been given by you. Don't sit and just don't think. The action is important. So I started with the baby steps, with my work, with my business, and all that small things.
And let's say you're working and you've been doing great so far.
So I think who created the impression or change your life. So it's very, very, very common and absolute at the same time that a woman only shapes the life of every person.
That's very true.
Because woman only keeps a boy or a girl in a room for 9 months. That pains, that caring, nurturing happens starting from there. So in everybody's life, I think first impression has to be of a mother. That can be mother, a real mother, biological mother. That can be a parenting mother. That can be a mother earth. So everybody who nurtures and cares is called mother. We did not have a sister. The sister is the second to impact life. So we did not have. So our mother changed our life in such a way that she said, you used to घर में बर्तन भी मांजने, कपड़े भी धोने, खाना भी बनाना है.
So I think if you have a sister, she would have said all of that to a sister, and you
Sister,
would have
and
never
we would have
learned.
never learned that thing.
Right.
So casually we started, directly, indirectly, we said, ये भी काम अपना ही है. It is not necessarily has to be done by a girl or a boy or a woman. So after marriage, there is an impact of wife always, and you try to do. As far as I am concerned, she has impacted my life a lot. I had a thinking of like a close thinking. From again I see lower middle class family, close thinking. एक जॉब करना है, अपने कहीं सत्संग जाना है या स्पोर्ट्स खेलना है, घर आना है. So that's all. So thinking beyond that, you have to grow करना है. You have to come out of this small one-room kitchen, or maybe you have to go from have your own vehicles, maybe 2 vehicles even. So how to grow financially, how to grow physically, how to grow appearance-wise, how to change your looks and appearance. That all. Apart from that, I always say that we used to connect it with the spiritual organization. We are connected with the spiritual organization, and she told me how to serve selflessly. Why women should be respected. One more reason is, first reason I gave you, they are carrying a life. So they are carrying a life within a life, which is a great thing. Secondly, they leave the place where they are born and brought up after marriage. I always question this tradition. Why this custom has been made? Who has made this? Why always girl has to leave her whole entire atmosphere, parents, everything, friends, neighbors, the society, and she has to go and adjust after 25, 30, 27, 28 years now. So why? Why the boy cannot come and stay? उसको कम लगता है रे?
Yeah, I saw this social experiment. I don't know, some content creator had done this. So he went around asking people, like basically he did 2 rounds, one with like guys and one with girls. So in the girls ka round, he asked the question like, after marriage, would you prefer living with your in-laws? And I think 95-96% of the women said yes, sure, why not? And only like 3-4 out of the 15-20 he has said like no, maybe. Like it was a maybe, it wasn't a straight no. But when he did the same thing with the guys, there were hardly like 1 or 2 who said maybe, and there was not a single yes.
To go and stay
with in-laws.
So in this case, both are wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
Both are wrong. Guys are not ready to go to in-laws' place and stay, and even girls are okay.
but
to
that's
stay.
what they've been fed now.
So they have been fed, so they need to change.
Yeah.
Even they are thinking need to change. Why I should go? I'll find a person who will earn maybe
You can just live separate.
You can live separately. I have maybe 6 months here and 6 months there.
That's a lot of effort.
So
नहीं मतलब Virendra did it ना. He literally stayed with me at my mom's place, and people were like saying, "घर जमाई बन गया."
25 years back, I did this experiment. I said her mother had only 3 girls.
Yeah. No one
What
was
she
with
will do?
her.
And my mother was ill, you know. So he said, "Ki no, I'll come and take care of your mom because my mother is already having 2 sons, and daughter-in-laws. They can take care of them, but I'll look after your mom." So he literally stayed, and he had to hear so many things.
How was that? Like, how was that dealing with the society like that?
He was very
Nobody was there to save me because I'm a very upfront person. But people used to say backbiting.
मेरे को तो बोलते थे ना.
हाँ.
मुझे तो बोलते थे.
So they used to say
So there were a lot of negative comments that came.
घर में जाके बैठा है उसके पास बहुत पैसा.
So what happened when fine?
हालांकि I did not expect or get any financial support, only moral support.
But that's when you went to Nani's house. But what happened when both of you moved out and then Nani came and
stayed with us?
Yeah, then he
What
also
happened
said.
then?
No,
Then
that she
because
did
that's
not
not
come.
something that generally
She was not ready to come.
You got her forcefully.
दामाद के घर में खाना नहीं
Because she was
खाना.
in. Yeah.
That was the mentality she had.
Yeah.
I said, you are alone. Now the other sister, Sarita, also got married.
Yeah.
So you are alone. And in a big house like this, you are staying alone. Who will take care of you? She fell down. I said, come, stay with us.
yeah, so how was that? Like,
That was also a little bit.
Did people still give you?
No, his parents, though they accepted, कि okay, yeah, she's alone, so she can stay with you. But
And
मतलब
she used to do a lot of household work. She should take
Yeah,
care of
she's
house
quite
like
happy.
anything. So nobody in that way. But she used to do कि मैं जा रही हूँ ठीक है लेकिन I will stay.
बैठूंगी नहीं,
I
हाँ.
will stay and work like.
Yeah.
So she used to help her a lot, like cooking part. She used to.
Yeah.
So
but did people still give you guys shit for that?
people
actually,
give for
see,
everything.
there were what I experienced was many women's.
Women only came and.
And women, that is the most. So they only pull the women. One woman only is responsible for women to take care.
That's sad. Like sure, like I understand what you're trying to say because you come from a different PA.
And it is international.
Really, I don't know.
Yeah, of course it is.
It is not only India. It is international.
Everywhere it is the same thing.
No, I get it, but like for me, it was more of the women bringing me up because like the friends that I had been with, maybe not all, there have been people, friends, family, whatever. There have been people who wanted to pull me down as well. Like obviously, you know what I'm talking about. But there are like majority of my friends who are girls are generally like my biggest support. Like
Yeah,
Friends
because things are
again,
changing,
Yeah.
right?
friends again is a different category.
Huh.
So
Correct.
when it comes to
because I don't have any sister and I don't
You
have
also
any
say something
other
about being a woman.
direct-
Also,
That's not
yeah.
always.
How do you feel like being a woman?
No, I feel like
no, I
that's
think
really.
you Gen Z or maybe which
I'm Gen Z.
millennial.
yeah, whatever. But I am Gen Z. But I feel like this generation, like being a woman in this generation, is far more empowering than it was before. Although it's sad to see a lot of things that are happening still, and that needs a lot of work, lot of improvement, lot of systemic changes, a lot of other things that are still frustrating and irritating, which need to change. And I think that we as a society are taking steps towards it, but it's a very small percentage of people who are doing that. Yeah, the basic attitude. But I do feel really empowered, thankfully, by the people that I'm surrounded by, how I have been brought up, the family that I am in, and I think that's a privilege to have, to be honest, because even though I am from this generation and I do feel much better about being a woman because there's a lot of awareness around this topic, there is still a lot of misunderstanding, misconceptions, and bad things that happen which need to change for sure. But yeah, I wouldn't say I completely can relate to what you have gone through because those things have been different for me. So that is a major change for sure. Like I can see the difference between
My one of my niece, she's staying abroad because I asked her, why do you stay abroad? So she has only this, where people here, women's, they gossip a lot. ऐसे कपड़े क्यों पहने, ये nail art ऐसे क्यों किया, यहाँ tattoo क्यों किया, अपने बाल को पीले नीले हरा क्यों किया. So everybody has their own freedom of life. लेकिन
I feel like as long as you don't care about what other people have to say and you keep bettering yourself and you have the right kind of people around you, life is much easier.
By default, see, as initially we said, there are only two categories of human, man and woman. So they have got some basic differences. Like women are more towards beauty.
Yeah, no, I feel like you should
appearance.
be embracing your femininity instead of trying to be more masculine.
Yes.
Whereas
Exactly.
you are,
to the point now.
yeah, like you have all the talent you need to be wherever you are, and that's great. That's amazing. But that doesn't mean that you throw away your femininity
And
just
you
to.
become tomboy. No,
Yeah.
not required.
Maybe tomboy is the wrong word, but like you put yourself in a situation. I mean, it's the society that's making us do that, honestly. But it's time, like, we take a stand for ourselves and we can still be CEOs and be boss ladies while being feminine. You don't have to, like, you have both
You
feminine
don't have
and
to be
masculine.
masculine.
You don't have to be
Not-
masculine. Yeah. So yeah, I hope we all keep learning, growing, and figuring things out as and when we grow up in life. So that was it. Yeah, that was it for today, and we hope that this
You
conversation
please
was useful.
share, subscribe.
And please like, share, subscribe.
And comment also.
Yes.
I want to talk.
And we'll be back next week.
Bye.
See you. Bye.